Yeah, against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again. Is it showtime? Of course it's showtime. Are we live? Of course we're live. People deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Good morning to those of you in the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. First and foremost, I apologize for being 2 minutes late. As you lot can tell by the food wrapped around my face, and I haven't got a tissue, so I'm gonna have to take it old school. Mummy, if you're watching, I'm sorry. You always told me not to do this. Yeah, I was eating my breakfast, people. So yeah, I was late, man. You have to allow me, man. It is what it is. Even Brad, you know, Brad's one step ahead of me, man. He said DG making a grand entrance again. If he's late to his own stream, he needs to open up with his wealthy goal, and he called it, man. You know, what's the lottery ticket numbers, my guy? Because you know something we don't know, but. On a serious note, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope you're all doing well and safe, whoever you are and wherever you are. Obviously, we're going to speak about this Daniel Ek thing. We're going to cover some other transfer business, and you lot get your opinions, comments, and everything going. You lot know me. I'm a big fan of you lot. You lot make this community for what it is. But before all of that, it's Friday. I hope you can look back of a week of funness. I hope you've all moved further to your goals, dreams, hopes, and aspirations. And if you haven't, then you know you're closer than you was last week. We go again next week, people. So I hope everybody's well and safe. I hope everyone's got their health. You know, I'm wishing you lot the best in terms of health, in terms of spirituality, in terms of financially as well. I want the best for my subscribers. So I hope you're doing well and safe. Please make sure you're hitting that like button and all of those good things, people. As on the topic of that, please make sure you're here at 4 p.m. Well, not on YouTube, on Twitch. It's Q&A day. So if you want to ask questions and that properly, yeah, you know where to be. A man said, look at his beautiful bald head. I thought he was talking about me. About to say, I'm losing my ish already. You're talking about Daniel Ek. Big up Joanne. She's saying blooming Ek, not this again. He don't want to buy us. I can't blame any of you for being pessimistic or having pessimistic feelings towards him. But allegedly Stan Kroenke does have a court case. Apparently, we're gonna get over the article and whatnot. But yeah, man. First things first. What are you lot saying? Morning, Josh. You know, I was even in the comments just saying, let's go. Very angry, man. I hope you're actually a very happy man to be here. Nonetheless, you're always here, and I appreciate your consistent support. Shout out to you. Big up AM as well. Shout out to all the members, subscribers, moderators, you know, supporters from old and all of that sort of stuff, man. A man said, big up DG, always on point. Been here since 8K subs. You should make a Patreon, bro. Patreon, bro. You deserve it. A lot of you are speaking about doing that, and pardon me, in particular, I know some of you that are international, I call you like the international fan base and whatnot. I know there's little laws that stop you from becoming members, from using PayPal and all these sort of things. So I don't know what I would offer on this Patreon page, but you know, if it's an avenue that you lot want, then I'll look into it. Because quite a few have said that. But P, I appreciate that, man. Like I said, I hope you're all doing well and safe, man. Bro, that goal's going on my CV. That goal's being shown on my wedding day. That goal's being shown in raves. You know, if I ever get to the level where I get to interview these big boy footballers all the time, that goal is getting spanned. Bro, if you, man, did that, you would do the same. But we can't all do good things, man. You know, like I said, 2021's year of the GOATs. I've won a trophy. Messi's won a trophy. If some of you else have probably won trophies, if you haven't, go and get your hands on some silverware, man. But yeah, man, can't let off a banger like that without warning. True. Oh man. Apparently Ben White gonna be announced today at 3 to 4 p.m. Hopefully, man. Man said gunshots, you know. Listen, I know we playing ends, but it's not that deep. Dangote 2021. I've given up on Dangote, man. He's just capping, man. If you put your money where your mouth is, and you know, I think Daniel X capping for what it's worth, but at least he's doing his thing. Shout out to the Twitch gang as well. And as I said, I appreciate fans of all clubs and fans that just support things. You know, we're fans of our club second. We're fans of football first. CFC's finest. I appreciate your consistent support as well. Please don't think it's ever, I just say that for the sake of it, because as I keep saying, whether it's Q&As, hope to see you all on Twitch at 4 p.m. Whether it's just content, I can't do this without you lot, man. So it's appreciative. And, you know, one thing that makes me happy is to know that I'm coming here. I'm going to have a decent footballing conversation with you lot, you know, man, woman, whatever race race, background, whatever. You know, we can all have different opinions, but I take something away from this. And not that I care about other YouTubers, but I know 100% not, you know, YouTubers with bigger platforms, they ain't got a platform that we have where people talk sense. It's just a vehicle for nonsense or a vacuum, and that is what it is. Selena Brooker said, DG, can I DM you about Twitter? Can I DM you on Twitter about suggestions of what you can do on YouTube? Do you check your Twitter DMs? Loves you, baby daddy. I don't know for baby daddy and them things they allow me, innit? You're gonna get me in trouble. I'm sure your baby dad's out there and he's offering peace. But if there's anything beneficial or any serious suggestion you think you can bring, then literally my DMs are open. So just shoot a DM. So yeah, man. I can't blame you for loving the guy. You know the ones there. Look at this face and them thing there, man. It's a madness. But yeah. So shout out to you. So like I said, baby daddies, if you're hating, be on the lookout, man, because it's long for you lot. But man, it is what it is. So yeah, what else have we got? Road to 40k subs. We're flirting with it. We're flirting with it. If you know 40k subs is a girl, we're at the bar, we're talking, we're seeing where she's from, we're getting her name, we're doing all of these things. We haven't quite asked for the number, we haven't quite asked what we're doing after the party and things like that, but we're flirting with it. We're getting somewhere, man. So if you haven't hit the sub button, hit the sub button, man. You know, as much as for me, I'm focused on 50, I can't cap, but 40 is a madness. You know, 38 is a madness. You know, like I always say, it might as well be 38 million. But, you know, I do think at 40k, I'll have a moment where I'll sit down and I'll be like, oh, we really done something here, sort of thing. But you're right, Patrick, the road continues. Big up the members. Morning, DJ and everyone. Hella skeptical about this whole Ek business. Even if it does happen, I don't think it will be for a few years at the earliest, 100%, my guy. But you know, we can hope, we can pray, we can just allow our imagination to take us elsewhere, man. You know, it is what it is. He owns 700 million. What do you mean? You lot are killing me in the comments. Let's keep it a bit PG. Yeah. All right, Brad, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Would you rather get a right back or an 8.5? Both of equal importance, my guy Billy. You know, I think we need to address that midfield just as much as right back. Because for me, it would antagonize me that you're bringing in Ben White, you've got Gabriel, you've got Saliba long term, you've got Tierney, you've got a backup, and then you're not sorting out, you know, goalie and right back in regards to right back. I just don't think nobody's good enough to do it for 38 games, and I would love to be proven wrong because who wouldn't like to fix things in house? I would like Cedric to, you know, turn up and do mad things because we'd be like, where's this guy been? I would, in an ideal world, if Bellerin stays, I would love him to turn around at 26 years of age and start looking like someone that should be called up to the Spanish team on the eve of a World Cup season. Someone that we can say is one of the best right backs in the league, but I don't think that's going to happen. I would love Maitland-Niles to go up a level at right back, but I don't think it's going to quite happen. So for me, you need to address what's going on at right back. We need clarity over the goalkeeping position as well and the middle of the park because we're going to keep crippling people. You know, if Lokonga gets an injury, we're back to square one. If Partey gets an injury, we're back to square one. And for me, I would give Joe Willock opportunities, assuming he stays. I don't quite think he's cut the mustard to do that sort of thing. And then there's a safe option. He's clearly not good enough over a 38 game period. So I think both are vital, man. You know, I can't lie to you. You know, at a push, because you're pushing me, I'd say, all right, cool. You know what? Give me a midfielder in it. You know, Lokonga, Partey, a next midfielder, Smith Rowe. I can run with it, and assuming nothing else happens, I can make it work. I would like a right back because looking back, you know, how we could see an even better Saka. We could see an even consistent more Pepe if we had that right back and a consistent one to allow relationships to build. And that goes over all of this, all over the field. As I said, you know, we spoke about 8.5. That partnership with Partey, Lokonga, and this new new centre midfielder, Lokonga and Partey. We need relationships to build. We need to allow the final third, you know, the Smith Rowes, the Lacazettes, the Sakas to do more so of what they're doing. There's a lot, as much as we need new signings and stuff. I think people underestimate the need to actually coach, the need to use the guys that are actually good, existing options and improve them and just get them better and better and understanding them and just seeing them mature as a side. People, new signings is only half the job, in my humble opinion. New signings only half job. Right back or 8 1.5. That's our first timestamp. Big up you lot. There's 203 of you locked in. I'm very appreciative. I mean, you lot have been supporting me in the, you've been supporting me since the jump. But I would say for me, these last 2 weeks in particular, in terms of engagements, likes, subscribers, and all the rest of it, it's been quite crazy. It's been crazy, and I really appreciate it, people. Daniel, let's change the title. Sorry, people, it's just bugging me. Takeover talks, change that a bit. It's looking a bit mad, but yeah, back on task. We're gonna get into this in a sec, but I just love you lot's questions and opinions and all of them. Sakayo Baka, I'm good, man. I've got a smile on my face now. Your name always makes me giggle. What a play on words. Shout out to Bakayo Saka and Sakayo Baka. Is what it is, man. Man said DG getting gas. It's normal, bro. Come on, like. Me get gassed, bro. It's like Thierry Henry. You don't get gassed when you score goals. I'm a peng lad. It's normal. Anyways, back to the day job. Let's focus in that. You lot kill me, man. All deserved, bro. Hard work breeds success. For me, I know hard work is part of it, but at the same time, man, I think for me it's about working smart in it, because I've been seeing single mothers that are not single with bare jobs. If hard work equated to things, immigrants who come to this country, as I have seen in my personal life and elsewhere, if working hard was all the job, then them man there would be millionaires and things. So it's about working smart, I would say, because man been seeing people who work hard, but it's about switching it up, man. A takeover doesn't happen overnight. You're right, DS Boss. And it's like some of you were alluding to earlier. For me personally, I think it's going to take a couple of years at the very least. And I must admit, I was expecting to see more of a push from Daniel Ek in the window, because obviously I think Daniel Ek's been very strategic in when he's said I want to buy Arsenal and things, because obviously I'm not saying he shouldn't have done it, but we on the best of days we want to see the back of Stan Kroenke. Now obviously we was disgruntled about the season, disgruntled about what's going on with the manager, disgruntled about a bag of things. The Super League stuff made it worse. We had protests. Obviously, he's a businessman. Businessmen know the art of timing and the art of when to strike and when to be strategic. I don't doubt for a sec Daniel Ek has legitimately wants to buy Arsenal and things, but there are other reasons. There's a bit of clout and engagement levels behind it, and obviously it put the pressure on at the time. And I would say, not that people aren't saying Kroenke out and stuff, but obviously we've got the new kits. There's Ben White, you come in, Balogun and Tierney signed new deals. You got Tavares and Lokonga in early. There's talk of Maddison, whether it happens or not. There's been a bid for Locatelli, whether that's legit or not. There's been a lot of bullish and marquee names and all of these sort of things, people. So I'm not saying people are not really on the Kroenke out thing, but it's kind of died down a bit, or at least it's a bit more healthier for Kroenke. So I would have thought, and especially when you look at what you're hearing with the club, with the AST and all of them, we're appointing a fan to the boardroom level, not to make transfers, but to be a representative and all of these sort of things. I would have thought this is the best time to strike, be a nuisance to Stan Kroenke. Obviously, Kroenke is a difficult businessman to deal with. We know he doesn't want to sell Arsenal. We know he needs to be given an offer that he can't refuse. And what I mean by that is, we all love Arsenal. I mean, I love going to watch Arsenal. But if ticket prices became a certain price, more so than they're already more, and they're very expensive in an arm and a leg, I would have to disregard my love for Arsenal and say, do you know what? It's not wise to spend that. So by that same logic, Daniel Ek could be an Arsenal fan as much as he wants the best for us. But at some point, he's going to need to offer Kroenke something that he can't refuse, which is probably double or just over double the value of the club. Now, does he believe that's worth it? Because obviously there's many different ventures that you can earn money from a football club, but football, they also say it's a losing man game. And it probably would initially, because, our squad and many different aspects of the football club is not in the best health. So we need to get around that. So you might not see too much bang for your buck. And obviously you can love the club, but is he on this Roman Abramovich thing? I'm not saying mad spending, but you can tell Roman loves Chelsea, so there's certain things happening. I really don't know. I would have loved to have seen more pressure from Daniel Ek in that regard. Personally, it's going to take an offer that can't be refused. And unless he's willing to do that, again, he's definitely got more money than us. But I don't know how strong his capital is, because it just seems like Thierry Henry went off to Belgium. Dennis Bergkamp went back into the darkness, and Vieira got his Palace job, and all of a sudden, them things there is gone now. That the whole, the very, it's gone. The takeover talk is gone, and I mean, it would arouse most Arsenal fans' imagination. A new owner is enough to do that, let alone the legends and stuff. Well, for me, I don't get gassed off the legends. What I mean by that is, of course, Thierry Henry, Vieira, Bergkamp. I love them, and I'd love them to be involved, but that's me looking at them as players. I don't really care past that. I'm looking at Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, or Bergkamp, the whatever you're doing past on off the field, and how good are you at that? And you need to remember, all of them have wanted to be coaches, and like, they're no different from us. They're all governed by self-interest. It's within their self-interest for Daniel Ek to buy Arsenal, because what didn't happen is they'll get a foot into the club and probably start scheming on management and stuff. So I'm not sure if bringing in ex people is necessarily the best of all times when you look at it without emotion, but it is what it is. 276 of you, please make sure you're hitting the like button. If 100 of you hit the like button, we've hit our target. If you hit the like button, one love. If you haven't, then you're pussy, really, if you haven't. But anyways, Arsenal takeover latest. Spotify founder Daniel Ek tells pals court case has boosted his chances. Obviously, this is a good journalist. Charlie's a good journalist. His employers are not. But Spotify owner Daniel Ek reckons his Arsenal takeover chances have had a massive boost. The Swede had his 1.8 billion bid to buy Arsenal rejected by Stan Kroenke in May. Wow, we're technically still in July. We're moving through this year fast. May feels like it was a year ago. But apparently, allegedly, but Daniel Ek is telling friends that a twist in a court case concerning the Gunners owner Stan Kroenke has increased his chances of eventually landing the club. Billionaire businessman Kroenke and son Josh, who own a sporting empire in the US, maintained they do not want to sell up in North London. Yet Kroenke, the NFL, and other owners are being sued by the city of St. Louis in a case which could cost over 700 million in compensation. So there isn't no legitimate reasons. I mean, what is 700 million is a lot of money, but what is that to someone who owns Arsenal Football Club, owns a number of successful businesses, doesn't quite care about any of that, and also is married into the Walmart dynasty? Them and they got peas, and then when you've got peas, it's one thing, but when you've got money, you can leverage more money. As you lot know, if a building project costs £1 million, these men are not giving £100 million hard-earned cash. There's different ways you can manipulate that. When you've got money, you can get better loans, and obviously you're in a better network of people. So I don't know if you want to read too much into it. And also on that, again, I might be a bit looking at it from a corrupt sort of case, but whoever's the judge for this, and for this case, they probably got their kids probably go to the same school Josh went to. So there's a little things that could be done in that regard. So there isn't no legitimate reasons other than leveraging the fact that Stan Kroenke and the rest of the NFL businessmen and whatnot are in trouble with St. Louis. I don't know how this correlates to selling Arsenal, apart from maybe if there's financial issues. And it doesn't say if there's any concrete evidence with Daniel Ek telling friends. Who is his friends? Who is this source? Where are you getting this from? So it just seems like it's remixed nonsense a bit. 310 locked in, hit the like button. Apparently, and this is where you get it. And if Kroenke is forced to find the cash, Arsenal fan Ek is hoping he might succeed with his bid. Like I said, he's got I'm sure because of the money he's earned, there's friends he could leverage cash off. There's, he can use he can use Arsenal as collateral to get a loan, like he's been doing for his other business interests. So I just think this article, Charlie, he's a good journalist. He probably knew he was going to get clicks by Arsenal, bills were going to get paid, engagement levels were going to go up on this website. So that's where they're at. I don't think, this is getting us anywhere. We know Arsenal fans are desperate for some hope. A new owner gives you that, and I don't think there's much in this. Apparently, a judge in the States has ruled he wants to see financial records of NFL team owners, including Kroenke, to rule out fraudulent behavior. I mean, and we're hoping that there is some fraudulent records on Kroenke's CV, and he's able, again, and there's something done there. But again, I don't want to look too much. And obviously, your businesses can be seized and things, but this is in, Arsenal's in England, he's an American, and this is going on in America. I don't know how the effects of what happens in the in regarding NFL in America, what that could mean for Arsenal, because I'm sure there's some laws around that. It doesn't mean he just has to sell Arsenal or whatever. Of course, I would love it to be the case, but when you start breaking down this, it's not really making sense. So yeah, man, we know it. We know we did a madness. Apparently, they're being sued for $1 billion, claiming the league violated its own relocation policies. If the NFL is forced to pay up or comes to a settlement, which come on, you know they're coming to a settlement, people, that amount would be put in the direction of Kroenke, who pushed for the LA move. I mean, by God's grace, you know, it means he might have to leave and them thing there, but I can't really see it. A source said Eck is convinced this could help him get Arsenal. I hope you are, bro. I hope you are, because it's gone quiet. We've all been saying, where you at? What are you doing and stuff? But you know, keep putting the pressure on. And I think, you know, this ain't the last time we're gonna hear of Daniel Eck. Like for me, the next time he probably talks, probably August the 30th or something around there. Because for me, if I'm Daniel Eck and Arsenal haven't done the business in the transfer market, then I'm gonna come and arouse fans' imagination once again and say, I want to be owner. I believe Arsenal should have done this, should have done that, should have done the third. Let's see what this article is saying. We know he supported Arsenal growing up as a kid. What's all this about? Fuck off, man. What's all of that? I like Grealish, but I don't want to see none of that. So yeah, this article seems like it's saying the same thing, people. 1.8 million pound bid rejected. 700 million pounds or whatever in compensation is what's being sought, but after by the league or whoever for these NFL teams. And we know we tried to get a consortium based off former, you know, they're worthy of the term, legends, you know, even you know, for me to sit here and call Patrick Vieira, Henry and Bergkamp Arsenal legends, it's not there, man. There has to be a bigger word. You know, legends don't do them enough justice. He said in May, we can't force anyone to sell. I understand that. In addition to that offer, Daniel has now reached out twice to Josh Kroenke, and his bankers, and they denied, you know, the Kroenkes denied it. So somebody's lying. And at some point, what I do think Daniel has to be strategic, because he can't really antagonize the Kroenkes, who are already antagonized by all of this, and will make it even tougher. But on the same hand, he's got to hang around like a bad smell. He doesn't want to leave, you know. He shouldn't want to leave. And the more he keeps the pressure on, the more there's issues there and things like that. So yeah, we'll never know. As it says here, regardless, Daniel is not a quitter, neither are we football boys. We are here to stay. So hopefully, like we know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're probably like a couple of you said, we're not going to see something happen for years. I don't think this will ever happen, because Kroenke has shown he don't want to sell, like, you know, unless he's offered something ridiculous. And I don't know how far Daniel Eck is willing to go to secure this football club, if I'm completely honest with you. So I'm going to see what you lot are saying, but that's what I feel, people. Hit up the like button, please, people. I hope you're all doing well and safe. And yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards. But that's Daniel Eck. Let me put this in the right place. So yeah, let me take in what you guys are saying. Remove the screen. Oh, thought I removed myself. Willian is very close to signing for AHLI in Saudi Arabia, as per AFC4net. I hope that's right. Again, forgive me for mispronunciations. And Willian, I respect that. Go and get paid, my guy. Go and get some money. Go and get some peas. Please, Willian. Please. You know, go and get it. Please, please, please go and get Dubai money, Arab money, Saudi Arabian money, just somewhere, American money. Just go somewhere for a payday. I know you like playing in London. I know typically you're gonna get a payday here, but you don't need us and we don't need you. It's a relationship that should have never commenced. It should have never happened. A blind man could see Willian was going to be a terrible signing. Granted, even the most pessimistic of Willian fans didn't expect him to underwhelm. And I'll be the one things I'll be fair to Willian. There's no smoke without fire. Not a single attacker has thrived at this club throughout the whole of last season. Some of that has to be down to the manager, as well as all of them taking individual responsibility, Pat. Again, you know, on that, he has spoke a lot about tactics and adapting and things like that. And you could tell there's something going on there. And I also feel at times he was unnecessarily scapegoated, which, you know, he got into that territory, like what happens with Bellerin and Xhaka sometimes, in that they're terrible players. They do terrible things. They probably should be moved on. But sometimes they've actually not been the worst of player. But you know, everyone's up in arms, and it's the same old suspects that are going to face the fire. And I think Willian's part of that. I don't think anybody deserves that. I don't think the fans deserve. I'll support anyone that plays for Arsenal Football Club. I don't think the fans deserve to have you know, to have players that they don't believe in. And I don't think players deserve to have fans that don't believe in them. It's just it becomes a bit toxic. I feel, you know, you should always play with a smile on your face. Like with Willian, you ain't got too many days left as a professional footballer. So, you know, you might as well enjoy them, and you're not going to enjoy them here. personally, you know, I think Willian highlighted Arteta's stubbornness. You know, you need to be humble and realize when to drop someone, you know, and we all know the amount of players that will cost minutes, you know, and it was just a terrible signing from a sporting perspective. And it just makes Edu and Arteta look silly because we were told he's hitting the ground running, he's a leader, Premier League proven, all of this, that, and the third, and he looks like anything but, you know. Saka looks significantly more experienced than him. Pepe looks like the one that's been playing in the Prem and playing for Chelsea and all of those sort of things. I'm sure Willian is a good voice in the change rooms. I'm sure Willian is good for the young players, but every experienced player at every top club should be good for the young players, should be a cool voice around the dressing room, should get on with the majority of people, you know, should be act serious. I just feel like Arsenal, sometimes there's a lot of luxuries, you know. I personally feel the club definitely isn't as ruthless as they should be, and I don't think fans are. Fans claim they're ruthless, but then, you know, El Nene has one decent game, you start rewriting history, you start saying let's play Cedric, you start saying let's move with Eddie, and sometimes you can do that, but it's like the bar is on the floor. 2 good games, fans start wearing their pants again. That's why we're in this sort of world where players are half gone, half not. You know, people want Xhaka gone. Xhaka starts playing well, you know, for 5 or so games, more than that, to be fair to him. And we start going down fraudy again, you know. And again, I just think people are too emotionally tied to footballers, in my opinion. And Arsenal have this weird thing where, you know, I like El Nene. I love El Nene. He loves playing for the club. He never puts up a fuss. He acts with integrity. He plays with his heart. You know, he stands up for people. I love El Nene. He's good with the young players. I know that for a fact. But are you a good footballer? You are, but not here. You don't stand out. You play too safe. You're not nowhere near the lineup. You could only be a backup. So these things need to go. I don't think fans are as ruthless as they claim. And I personally clocked that from Carl Jenkinson days. Man are saying he should stay because he's a fan. I'm a bloody fan. What's going on there? Come on now, man. But if William really is close to moving to the Middle East, I wish him the best, because fundamentally it's a new way of life. You know, you started off in Brazil, you've lived in England, lived in Shakhtar, lived a couple of places. Go and get a payday, go and have a lovely experience for your family. You know, look for a decent restaurant manager, I'd say, you know, so someone that can control the restaurant in London while you're about doing your business, you know, because who knows, he might have just become a chef, really. He might be trying to do his Salt Bay thing last season. You know, he probably was a part-time footballer and full-time restaurant entrepreneur and them thing there. I'm surprised I never saw him on MasterChef and them Gordon Ramsay shows and all the rest of it, people. So I hope he is close, because on a serious note, we've made 3 expensive free signings. You know, we didn't learn from Mkhitaryan. We didn't learn from Kolasinac with signing Mkhitaryan. We didn't learn from Mkhitaryan with signing Willian. 3 very expensive free transfers that have, you know, been a strain at whatever time they've been here on the club's resources, like Willian and Kolasinac are bleeding this club dry. How much money go? I don't care about, you know, reality is the money's not mine. Reality is no one put a gun to these lots' heads to sign the contract. I don't really care what they're getting paid a week. It don't really, it's nothing to do with me, in it, really and truly. But on the same time, it's mismanagement of wages, because now we can't move them on. On top of that, we have the market where you're seeing it's a COVID market. Everybody's trying to sell for maximum price, but people can't really offer what we're doing. And everyone's having to be creative with how they structure payments, with offering swap deals and stuff like that. And, you know, when you have mediocre players, you know, that are in mediocre form and not really developing, tied down for a long period of time, and also on big wages, you have not helped yourself. You know, we're not learning. So hopefully Willian is close to moving so that we can free up spots and other players can take advantage of such. He can go on, and then we can just comment less and less about Willian. All I care about is that specifically the technical director, Edu, who sanctioned this, and the manager, not head coach Arteta, who's getting more responsibility, learn from this, because I am quite getting frustrated with who we're signing and the decisions we're making from a footballing point of view when it comes to playing on a match day, because I can't lie, I don't think we haven't always made the right decision for Arsenal. We've made the right decisions for Arteta in the same way. I think towards the end of Wenger's campaign here, he stopped making the best decisions for Arsenal and started looking at it for him. I can't sit here and lie to you. 402 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. But that's that in relation to Willian. If that is true, if it's not true, it is what it is. But yeah, man, I would love to see Willian out of here. As I said, my priorities, you know, are actually Willian and Kolasinac, because they're the 2 hardest sells. You know, Xhaka will get a move, whether it's Roma or not. He needs to be moved on. Torreira, he'll get something, whether it's a loan or whatever. Whether it's the thing you want is another thing, but he'll get one. I genuinely don't see where Kolasinac and Willian were to go from there, because you know, I genuinely was of the thought of, like last January, you might as well just loan out Kolasinac, you know, get a loan fee, get the team to take on some of his wages, bite the bullet. It's for a year and keep it moving. With Willian, I couldn't see how we get out of it, because he's contracted for at least 2 years and whatnot. So it's a bit of a madness, man. But yeah, it is what it is. What else are you lot saying? Good morning, bro. Appreciate the positive energy every time. Thoughts on the Bruno Guimaraes links, Mr. War. I spoke on that yesterday, so go to my other live streams. But I'm for it. You know, that's a good 8. He can dictate the tempo of a game. He wants to pass. He's 23. There's resale value. You know me, I love Brazilian players. He's got the Brazilian bias with that. He'd be a good signing for us, man. And, you know, it would get the best out of Partey. You know, Partey would have a good teammate to work with in Guimaraes, a good partnership. Also, Lokonga and Partey could work. And Guimaraes and Bruno Bear, yeah, and Lokonga could work. That's 3 good partnerships in the midfield. And obviously, if we upgrade, we upgrade. We need some genuine options, man. I don't think we have enough different selections in that midfield that we could use. There's games where I want to see 2 6s, games where it's 1 6, game where I want to see the most expansive 3 members that we can put together in that middle of the park that they go and do the thing. DG, surely a centre mid cam and backup goalie is a priority over right back. Not for me, because you don't build a house backwards. The foundations aren't solid. You're only as strong as your weakest man. You can have a world-class, for example, I don't think anybody is, but you could have 2 world-class centre backs, a world-class left back, you know, and a world-class keeper. But if your right back shaky, what's going on there? You're only as strong as him, really. And I think it's for me, right back's a priority because, you know, defense and midfield is the spine of this team. I think right back is important. You know, you can have many players, but, you know, Cedric is going to stink up the joint. He'll have good games over a 38 game period. I don't believe in him. I like Callum Chambers. I don't believe in his capabilities over a 38 game period. I think you lot can come in and do jobs. I think you lot can play a part in the season, but I don't believe in you over 38 games. So for me, I'd say right back is more of a priority than a cam, because you've got Smith Rowe. It's just as vital as centre mid, specifically the pivot that is next to Thomas Partey. That's a good timestamp, and love for that, my guy. Jay, please don't shed yourself. Stylish, I see you in the comments as well. You lot are members. It's Q&A day tomorrow. Please make sure you're checking out the YouTube community tab if you haven't already. If you have, one love. And what should we call that? Right back for me is as vital as signing a centre mid. I don't know why, but I have a Tottenham cake downstairs, people. I don't know why I'm sharing this information with you. It's just something's telling me to eat it after this live stream. I really don't know why I shared that thought with you, but I love a Tottenham cake, man. The only thing I love about Tottenham. I really don't love inflation, though. It's like 95p now. I remember when it was 50. But yeah, what else are you lot saying, man? Let me take in what else you guys are saying. Big up everybody locked in. What are we doing for likes so far? Hope you lot are not doing the guy dirty, man. Where are we at? 166. Yeah, you lot are doing me dirty, but we can work with it. Appreciative of it, people. Appreciative of it. We keep going. Henny, not sure, man. So we're asking for it 100%, man. Bro. That's what Brad's on. What you saying, Brad? You trying to be sugar daddy and them thing there? You lot kill me, man. You know, I think since the Euros, you've had good momentum, to be honest. All right, Stylish, we had a good Euros still. We had a good Euros. We had a very good Euros still. So, yeah, man, it's just about hitting them up even more now, man. And I'd hope with the Premier League, you know, I'm going to do a lot of neutral streams as well. We're going to do the thing, and there's going to be a lot of exclusive watch-alongs only on Twitch. Some of you are going to be looking. I'm going to tell you, look, there's watch-alongs going on. You lot are going to go on YouTube and be like, DG lied. No, I didn't lie. Just didn't listen. So clean the earwax out, people. Stop being stubborn and subscribe to the Twitch. Those of you who have done it, appreciative. And obviously hit that up via Amazon Prime if you can. First time on the channel, man. Good afternoon from Nigeria. I appreciate you. Hopefully it's not your last time, and big up all the Nigerians locked in. I hope you're all well and safe. Craig, appreciate you. Listen, you lot can say you want. I think Cedric and Chambers for now, and bringing a right back next season. Anyone other than Bellerin, the Blancos Beyblade, helps our right wing. That's true. You know, Chambers, for me, it's just the 38 games. It's not that I don't believe in Chambers. I believe in Chambers. I like Chambers. You know, I think he's a better right back than Bellerin. Not so much because of ability, even though that is it. I don't know if it's because Chambers played as a centre mid coming up through his footballing journey, and he's played centre half. But Chambers is a thinker. Bellerin isn't. You know, you Chambers, when he means to do stuff, you get the vibe he's meaning to do it. Bellerin is accidental drillings more time. But at the same time, 38 games, there's gonna be games. Chambers is gonna look like a centre half at right back. Cedric, I'm not the biggest fan in it. I think he was done a bit dirty by Arteta. I do think he could have played, but I'm not convinced. Again, 38 games. If one gets injured, what happens there? If knowing Arsenal, two fullbacks could very well get injured. I just want people I have absolute confidence in, and I don't think we're signing a right back either because, you lot remember at the start of the year, start of the window, we was very much being linked with everyone. I was going to give it a few weeks and, they might have seen my goal that I'm always spinning on my YouTube channel and I might have got linked to the right back spot. Those seem to have died down. Maybe because we're struggling to offload Bellerin. I don't know, but it seems to. For me personally, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. I think we need a right back in it. I think there's too many of these. For me, it's a bit sad. Chambers isn't quite in the same bracket, but to paint a picture, the Cedrics, the Chambers, the El Nenes, to a degree, Lacazette, these are the seasonal Bellerin, seasonal guys, man. Like 5 games, they're going to be amazing. 5 games, they're shaky. And certain fans that are singing Lacazette's praises, they were saying sell him in the first half of the season, I'm not saying you're not allowed to change your mind. I'm just saying there's too many volatile players here. I want players I have absolute confidence in. Same way, the only problem I've got over Tini if he can stay fit. But when the man's fit, I know what I'm getting from my left back. If he has a bad game, I know they're minimal. He's human. I don't get that with my right backs. It's hit and miss. I don't know what's going on. And I just think it's shaky foundations to build upon. If we're really resetting and starting again and stuff, then why not do things properly? That's just me. There's no point doing things half-assed. You could, in theory, get away with it, because we're overstocked at right back and we don't have that many games being shared. So you lot are right. But for me personally, I would just like a right back. That's just me. Maybe it's because I'm a fullback and I'm a defender. And naturally, I look at Arsenal's back 4-5/unit, including the keeper. And it's just a bit, yeah. But me personally, my opinion, I want a right back. But fair play. I don't really believe in who's here. But if Maitland-Niles and Chambers want to do it, then give you a chance, innit? I don't know if Ben White will make his debut next on Sunday. I'd imagine that is way too early, but maybe start against Brentford. Personally, I think he'll probably be holding a Marino against Brentford. Personally, morning low profile. I'm taking Alba over Bruno still. But I'd love the both for them. Must have forgotten to hit the like button the other day because I got an unexpected bill. Cheers, DG. But I tell you, look, I'm sorry, my guy. In fact, I'm not sorry. I tell you guys, man. What better to listen to than DG while you're making your breakfast? Well, go on, DG. I'm good, my guy, James. Knowing you're probably shooting them golden guns while you're making breakfast. But fair play, you got to save the world. I don't know how Kroenke has added value, to be honest. For him personally, he's added value. The club has gone up in value since he's taken it over, and he ain't really put his own cash in it. From a business point of view, if he didn't give a fuck about football, he's done something amazing. The problem is we do. More like Daniel Eek. Man's been moving like a goal since these Spotify subscriptions went up. He's using Arsenal fans for clout, mate. I don't think he needs clout, but I know what you mean in that, yeah, man. He's just keeping his name in the tabloids, man. Daniel Eck ain't got enough capital, but that's where you've been hearing he's, got consortium members and things like that. And that's what I mean. How far are they prepared to go? Because Daniel Eck might say, all right, cool, let's just say 4 billion. I'm just in the sky. Daniel might say, you know what, under in every circumstance, I'm getting this club. And his consortium might say, well, 4 billion, we're doing too much. We're out of it. So we need to know what they're on, because he could have all the enthusiasm in the world, but he ain't got the capital like that, man. Willian on the move. Is there any other report? Well, we've indirectly touched on Willian, man. But is there any like mainstream people talking about Willian? Or has AFC Bell latched onto it and things? Don't care where Willian goes, just bust out, bro. Big up Derek. Eck is talking was for self-promotion, probably, man. Hillary, it's looking like we're back on track, man. It's looking like we're back on track. Yeah, we're owned by Kroenke Sports, which is Stan Kroenke's business. So essentially, we're owned by one person. We're in the Kroenke family. Love for the super chat. My guy didn't even clock this, man. Tierney would make a class captain. I think Tierney is the captain when Aubameyang calls it a day. Willian tarnished himself, but same way, I can't just blame Willian for everything, man. Appreciate that, Leonard, man. You know, some people say you're not really deluded. Some people say you exactly are deluded. So if I had a pound for both, we'd be a rich man, and I'd be buying Arsenal myself. Really and truly. Trust me, they're getting a player. Willian, go there, man. Kroenke should please step down for the sake of the club and the entire fan base. Yeah, he should, but it's not that simple, man. The next Donny that needs to go is the goalkeeping coach. And to be fair, you know, I don't want to get onto people randomly, but you might have a point there, really and truly, my guy. Because again, if we talk about Aaron Ramsdale very quickly, allegedly it's the goalkeeping coach. Now, who better than goalkeeping coaches? But I mean, man were selecting Runnison and that. So for me, I know everybody has clangers, and you know everybody makes mistakes in that. But I don't think we should be listening to the goalkeeping coach. Or for me, if we look at it away from that, you know, just because the goalkeeping coach suggested, let's say Runnison, it doesn't mean that that's it. We're siding him, you know. Or if we did do that, then I'm looking at people around him because we shouldn't be just doing that. But I'd imagine, you know, Runnison became available. The analytical team looked at him. Arteta looked at him. We must have watched 5 or 10 games, and and other people, Edu, etc. And no one saw that he was shit. Pardon my language. No one. So that means you all sanctioned it. Because for me, when we're signing, man, your name is going on that, so you need to make sure they're certified. You need to make sure you're prepared to live or die on the Willian, whether it works out on Runnison and all of these sort of things. So if you're doing that, you're telling me you're not fearing failure, because if certain F3 like that happens at Chelsea or other clubs, you're out of there. You know, this is the problem with us. You've got a non-existent owner, and you've got people that are inexperienced, left to their own devices, and we're quite incompetent for a team that has to manage finances. You look at the signings we've signed and then had to get rid of them. We've mismanaged. You know, we've got Runnison, so now it becomes expensive paying his wages for a player that we don't want. And obviously, we're struggling to move him on. You know, the loan signings, we never got nothing from Odegaard, really. Not that I'm saying it was a bad signing. You signed Ceballos for 2 years. That was what we heard, 2.5 million or so a year. Did you get your value worth? We already spoke earlier about the expensive free transfers of Mkhitaryan, Willian, and Kolasinac. You lot know better than me how that worked out. So there's mismanagement. And I mean, when you look past the prestige of Arsenal and all these things, I don't like to be the guy to say I could do a better job, but I genuinely think some individuals in relation to this club, I could cut the mustard a bit better, you know, especially when it came to selling certain young players. But allegedly, Arsenal goalkeeping coach Inaki Kana Pavon, who was at Brentford doing his thing, is one of the key men behind the Gunners' potential move for Sheffield United's Aaron Ramsdale. So for me, that makes me not want him. I mean, I don't think Ramsdale is bad. I just don't see how he can be anything other than first choice, because it doesn't make sense. You know, you're in the England team on a technicality. You've been playing Premier League football for about 2 seasons. Why would you want to go and sit on the bench unless Leno is going, or unless we're going to do this Dean Henderson, David De Gea thing, Courtois, Peter Cech, or even Czech Leno, where you just got 2 keepers? Obviously, he would probably be the long-term number one, but surely in the short term, you're playing. And for me, you always want to look at a new signing, how it ties into the system, and how good is Aaron Ramsdale with his feet. Obviously, I only care if you can catch a ball, but they say Ramsdale, you know, Ramsdale's not known for being a goalkeeping keeper. I mean, that doesn't make sense, for being a ball playing keeper. So isn't he not going to cripple how we play out from the back? I don't know, but apparently Arteta's side have already made 2 bids for the 23-year-old, and according to Sky Sports, are considering a third offer as they try to secure a stopper to compete with their current number one. But Leno, we know we couldn't get Matt Ryan. We know Martinez was sold last year. Apparently, according to Peter O'Rourke, Pavon, the 45-year-old, is putting the English shot stopper at the top of his targets above other candidates, despite the Blades demanding a sizable £32 million for his services. Apparently, we all know Arsenal have made these 2 bids, which have been rejected. 500 people locked in. Please hit the like button. I fully expect them to come back with another bid, probably not as much as 30 million, but probably 25 rising to 30 with add-ons. Arsenal are really keen to do this deal. From what I hear, it's the goalkeeping coach who is pushing this deal. He's put Ramsdale on the top of his list. He wants him in rather than other goalkeeping targets. For that reason, I think this deal will get done. I think Ramsdale's decent. I just think there's a lot to work upon. I think 30 million is a bit excessive with the English tax. And for me, I don't know. Unless there's underlying statistics that say something, unless we see what he could be in the future and the fans can't, I don't have him down as a ball playing keeper. Now I'm one of them. I just care about can my keeper catch. I think football's got too blurred in that, you know, man are talking about defenders. They're not talking about can they defend. They're talking about if they can play a pass, they can get away with not being able to defend. It don't make sense. So for me, Ramsdale, how does he tie in? He might be a good keeper. I don't think he's bad. He's a bit shaky at things. He's not a ball playing keeper. Are you going to teach him at that? How good is his ball playing ability? Because at 23, yeah, you can learn it, but you know, if you're not at a technical level, if you're not comfortable doing certain things, you're kind of gonna stay how you are, really and truly. You know, we probably need him to force a move as well. He basically just signed for them, man, and he's got a substantial amount left on his contract. So that's that with Ramsdale. But I can't lie, the only thing that concerns me is the goalkeeping coach sanctioning it. He should be the one I have the most faith in, but boy, it's a bit shaky in that regard. So yeah, man, that set me up perfectly. You don't support WILLIAN leaving, right? Well, do you support Arsenal Football Club then? You're moving mad. Would you rather get Odegaard and Aouar or only Maddison? Aouar and Odegaard, that's two players. That's an 8 and someone else, stronger depth. But I would love Maddison. Hey, Tino, don't apologize for being late, my guy. I appreciate that. If Willian goes, would you keep Reece? Reece needs to play, but I would keep him in and around the team because there'd be a less guy. But yeah, man, I would say he probably regardless still needs to go out on loan, man. Kim, please don't be lying. Because you're always here. I don't, you know what? I know you can't be trolling. If you're trolling, then that's a shame. Xhaka new deal. Is that to protect some resale value? Surely not. Surely you're pulling my leg, which is a myth. We got on the Athletic. Let's see. Go on, break my heart. Go on. Go on. Raw. Raw. They really are. All right. All right. Granit Xhaka to be offered new Arsenal contract. Love Kim for the plug. Love for that. Never in doubt. Not love for that. Yeah, I mean, unless it's to protect his resale value, I don't see what's what. It seems like a kid that throws his toys out and his mum just keeps buying him new ones rather than telling him fix up or you're getting a slap, you know. And for me, it's the thing that concerns me is, you know, I don't think Xhaka is, you know, Xhaka, I keep saying it, Xhaka polarizes opinion. You've got Xhaka sexuals who make out he's this great midfielder when he's not. You've got, you know, people who make out Xhaka's terrible when he's absolutely not. When the truth's in the middle, he's a good midfielder. He, you know, he doesn't make as many mistakes as he's previously made, but he's still mistake ridden. You know, we've got the double-edged sword of midfielders like El Nene who do not want the ball at all. And then you've got Xhaka who wants it, but is completely naive, you know, his what I always say, his pros do not outweigh the cons of him, and I don't think he's good enough to build the team around him and hide his deficiencies. I do think he had a decent year, and what scares me is that keeping Xhaka, you know, because he plays so much, and let's be honest, you do see, you know, as I said, you should be upgrading on him, and we're doing what we do as a club, in that we sign players who might not be bad, but we put them in positions they can't fill. You know, Giroud should have always been a squad player. At one point, we're looking at him to be the main striker and get 20 league goals. It does not make sense. We like doing stupid things like that. And I think with Xhaka, this will be a chance for the club to shy away from signing a proper midfielder to play with Partey. You know, they'll double down on Granit Xhaka, and obviously it'll be even harder to move him on. He's got 2 years left. There should be no new deal. What the hell is going on? Forget the resale rate. Just get the man off the wage books, man. Shying away, but basic, you know, certain managers were basic, so they like basic players. But allegedly, Arsenal are preparing to offer Granit Xhaka a new deal after Roma failed to make suitable offer. Now, this could just be putting pressure on Roma to make things happen. And for me, as I said, Granit Xhaka, if you really do want to go to Italy, you know, you was whoring yourself out in the Euros. You was always talking about it, always playing it up. Do your bit for Jose Mourinho's side. Dig your heels in and say, I do not want to stay at Arsenal. I want to keep it moving. Amy Lawrence is the writer of The Athletic. You know, he's 28 years of age. You're going to have to give him a decent deal in terms of longevity and in terms of his wages. I'm scrolling all the way down because she's offering, with respect to the lady, she's offering all her opinions. I'm not here for that. We need the absolutes in this, man. But for what it's worth, Arsenal preparing to offer Granit Xhaka a new contract this summer, which would extend the Swiss captain's time at the club beyond the emotionally charged 5 years. Arsenal gave consideration to the sale that has not so far been matched by bids of sufficient consequence. With that in mind and balancing up the amount of money necessary to replace him versus the quality he brings on and off the field, qualities which have been regarded by every manager he's ever played for. I mean, I agree, but the expectations on the floor. Arsenal have come around to the idea that retaining him could be an effective solution during what they hoped would be a very busy window. So, it's more of the same. Long live Partey and Xhaka and El Nene pivots, and hopefully Lokonga gets a look in. We already know what's going to happen. And with that, no disrespect to Xhaka, my optimism of the season, because as I said, suddenly right back shouts are going away. Suddenly, midfielder shouts are going away. If Xhaka stays, you're not going to get that 20-odd million. So what does that mean for, if it does mean anything for these Madisons, for these Hours, for these Gamarezes, and all of these pursuits? Mad thing at all, obviously it's absolute madness. But yeah, man. Arsenal have come around to the idea that retaining him could be efficient solution during what they hoped would be a very busy window. It is also very well received for critics to insist moving on from Xhaka is necessary to move on stylistically, but Arsenal can only operate according to market forces. And I mean, people swore on their nan's life and F them blind that Xhaka would have a whole list of people interested in him. Addressing the central of midfield has been a key issue for some time, with changing the technical makeup of an area deemed key, a faster and more progressive game plan. I mean, we've got a technical director that was a midfielder and more or less in the Invincible period. We've got a manager who was a midfielder, and there's still inconsistencies over manager. But I mean, basic players are going to side with basic players. Arteta was a basic guy. Can I be surprised that El Nene and these guys are getting a new lease of life in the club with respect to them? We know I'm not gonna read it all, but we know we've brought in Lokonga. We've been linked with Neves, been linked with Locatelli. Xhaka was under no illusions that for sale sign was hung on his peg this summer, even though he was always happy to stay. If that's how it turns out, it frees Arsenal up to make multiple other deals that they're hoping to make. The Ben White announcement is imminent, and pots boiling at right back, creative attack, and central forward. Perhaps it is just too much to add a transformative central midfielder into the mix. I'd rather you address midfield than up front. I think, I'm prepared to give Lacazette and Aubameyang new deals. I mean, a new season and see what they can do. I'm pretty sure many people would be happier to persist with our attacking. Not saying they don't want a striker, but I'm sure most people would be happy to persist with our existing striking options than our midfield options. I think anyone that you've got to be crazy. I thought I was deluded. If you're content with Xhaka staying and El Nene there, and I love Lokonga, what we're going to see from him on Partey and potentially Joe Willock, it's not good enough. It is not good enough. And again, with Xhaka, you're delaying revamping this midfield. Boy, it is what it is, man. I'm trying to scroll down. This just seems like a Xhaka tribute piece by this writer, man. He is capable of excellence and also of crass moments which can cost his team. He can play with outstanding responsibility and also be suddenly reckless. This is the problem with Arsenal, and this is what needs to not be a case. Scrolling all the way. Apparently, Xhaka returned to London Coley last week after his extended post-tournament holiday. As things stand, he's back in training, focusing on the start of a new season. While his head may have been turned by speculation about a move to Serie A, he slots straight back into life at Arsenal, ready to help the team and in particular to help the new arrivals settle in. His attitude in the dressing room is a big tick in his favor as far as Mikel Arteta is concerned. These are all off. I don't care about the off-field things. Like, everyone's got the same things on field. We need people who can affect it. Man. Mohamed El Nene is still there. Lucas Torreira's future needs sorting out, in all likelihood away from the club. And there remains question marks over whether Joe Willock and Maitland-Niles will stay or go. Arsenal are struggling to generate income through sales. The wisdom in spending a fee in 30-40 million required to buy a replacement for Xhaka needs settling against all other business. What he offers and fundamental questions on whether he can be more efficient with some different players around him. The relationship between Arsenal and Xhaka has a checkered history. It looks like it is not necessarily over yet. And what I hope is that this is just mind games from people to put pressure on Roma to do this thing and get this bid done. But boy, with that, with what I'm hearing today, bro, my optimism's gone now, man. Boy, man. Boy, I can't believe it. Well, man. So no midfielder or Edu Masterplan. As I said, people, I'll shut my mouth until the end of the window. I'll shut my mouth until the end of the window, and then we got a lot to say. I hope it is to force their hand, bro. I hope it is, man. I don't get the protect resale value anyways, because you're gonna have to give him a new contract and a new length of time. We're trying to get rid of him. You don't do it for people you're trying to get rid of. It's gonna be even harder. And again, for me, it further clouds our midfield. You know, there's still question marks. Torreira has not gone yet. Guendouzi is not permanently gone as much as he is on loan at Marseille. You know, Joe Willock is still here. Maitland-Niles is still here. As the article said, we don't know what's going on, and this just complicates matters. And as I said, in tough times, you either be brave or you cowered into what you know. And this is what they know. Xhaka is a safe option. Getting rid of Xhaka, forcing their hand, scares them. Definitions of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Let's see, man, because this just further complicates everything, man. Just as confused as you lot, man. The Athletic are talking shite lately, especially with Grealish. It's all clickbait. To be fair with you, what have they been wrong about, man? Really? I mean, we've all read the article. Well, I don't give a fuck about his Euros and all of that because he's not a terrible player. It's just, bro, come on now, man. You could see them playing together, but it's dead, man. You like with people like Xhaka, not just it's not all his fault, but with people like him, you're building your foundations on the sand. When it's not raining, it looks calm. When it rains, it's a myth. Absolute myth. Oh man. Just gotta live with it, innit, man. Just accept it at face value, man. I can't let this vex me or anything like that, man. No, we're not gonna go anywhere as a football club, are we, folks? But yeah, doesn't seem to be anything new in relation to Ben White. So should we look at Rob Holding? Apparently, Rob Holding's had something to say in relation to Arsenal and stuff like that. So let's see what Rob Holding has said. Let me share my screen with you guys. Love to everybody locked in. Please make sure you're subscribed on Twitch and you're hitting the like button and subscribe buttons on YouTube. Arsenal's Rob Holding, no Europe this season can be a blessing in disguise. The defender has set his sights on a place back in the Champions League and admits last season's toils caused real lows around the squad. It did. You can set you lot don't want Champions League football. You might like the thought of it, you lot don't want it. You lot not kept up at night by it, or you lot wouldn't falter the way you lot do and perform the way you lot do. When the squad apparently he wanted his call up for the Euros. Holding, you had a good season, but you knew you weren't getting in the Euros. He said, when the squads were being announced, I had my eye on it. You never know. So I was looking. It didn't happen for me this time, but that's not going to deter me or make me feel it's never going to. Yeah, our defensive record was only bettered by City and Chelsea, but the devil's in the detail. If you go over it, it's going to look a bit mad. He said, it was a grind to get into the manager's thoughts after my injury. In pre-season, it was up in air whether I'd go out and get a year of playing time, but he kept me around and I managed to repay that faith by putting in a decent shift all season. My guy, Rob Holding, you're right. He went on to say we struggled we just couldn't find the net, and we're trying to hold on to games. Well, I mean, that's Arteta. He's got to get we're ninth for goals. There's the players have to fix up, but Arteta is doing something or not doing something in the final third. The best result we were trying to get was a 0-0 because we weren't scoring, so we're just trying to stop the opposition. Team like Arsenal's trying to stop the opposition. We can't defend, so you already know how suicidal that is, but we're meant to be an attacking side. It's cowardly. It was something that followed us around in each game, and it was tough. At times, there were real lows around the camp, and it's about how we could refocus and try to go into matches with a different mentality. This is why I always say you need competence, confidence, and consistency. It's all fun. Everyone can be confident when things are going well, when you beat Chelsea, but when things are going wrong, when you're not winning, I need people to stand up to be counted, as I saw with Smith Rowe, with Xhaka, with people like that. Man. Skull all the way down, man. He said, when we were playing every 3 or 4 days and had no crowd, going in front of an empty stadium, it did feel like a slug. With fans coming back now, it's crazy how different it feels. Good and bad, because let's not act like the fans will have everything positive to say, because we don't live in Google land. We're seeing nonsense. How much energy there is on the pitch when you make a tackle or a block and a big cheer goes up and you're excited for the next bit of play rather than just blocking it, hearing nothing and thinking like, oh, I hear you want to play for the fans, but way before you ever played in front of a fans, for large periods of your life, you was playing with maybe 10 parents max, or behind closed doors. Just get on with it, because I'm telling you, you lot would not have liked the fact Emirates fans are not the loudest, but they would have made their voices heard with a lot of nonsense we saw last year. So I think you're feeding off Arteta's BS with that. I see Chelsea as a competitive rival for us. Lol. I don't only in the FA Cup final or in the occasional league games. I don't mean much. I don't see them as a team we aspire to be like, and I mean we should. Does it kill me to say we aspire to be like Chelsea? Yes, but we should. They've won the Champions League twice. They've won it recently once. They've consistently qualified for Europe. The way they handle themselves, you should learn off your rivals. You should aspire to have your name mentioned among that. Whatever people say about them Chelsea lads, some of them are Champions League winners. What are you lot? You've won FA Cups and you've created history, but what are you lot? So you should. We're not levels with them. I don't think they see us that way either. There's a mutual respect between us. There should be. And a recent history with the FA Cup finals and playing each other in big games. I don't think that because they won the Champions League, we need to be more like Chelsea. We do. And just not just that, we need to be more like every club that finished ahead of us. There's many things we could learn of every team that finished ahead of us. We need to be more like Chelsea. Our results and league positions need to improve, of course. But when we play each other, it's competitive. Yeah, per se. He spoke about Tierney. We know Tierney's a bad boy footballer, but he said we are aiming to get back into the Champions League. With no Europe this season, we've got no distractions or fixture congestion, and I can really focus on our Premier League games. I think Liverpool did the same a few years ago, and Chelsea similarly when they won the league in Antonio Conte's first year. So it could be a blessing in disguise in some aspects. We've just got to think of it that way and hit the ground running. You've got to hit the ground running. You've got to improve. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Because we say that now, and somehow you lot are going to lose one game a week and we're still going to look at issues. You lot have got to really want to get top four. Not when we've won the occasional big game. Not when we've done it once and we've had a great game. You lot have got to want it from now. And what I've seen in pre-season, I don't want to be a negative nanny, but I haven't seen anything to suggest much is going to change. And now, obviously, you're hearing a lot about certain people getting new deals and all that malarkey. So, boy, I think that comes with a 6-week break rather than rolling from one season to the next. We can let the dust settle a bit and start with a clean slate. The first 6 games are huge for setting your tempo. Again, this is why your preseason needs to be spot on so that you can start building blocks. You've got Brentford away at their new stadium and they're going to be buzzing. You've got Chelsea and City to come very early. Our fixture list isn't kind to us, but we know this. The time for talking is done. Less talking, more doing. So let's see what happens. I am very pessimistic for next season. I'm not trying to be, but there's not a single reason for me to have any real positivity. I'm not seeing anything to come out here and say we're going to do this, that, and the third. So if they want it, they'll make it happen. If not, fuck it. It's a whole mess, bro. It's a whole mess. Arteta's just a pawn in this game, same way Emre was. You've got Arteta left to his own devices. You've got Edu left to his own devices. You've got no clarity from the manager. You've got goalkeeping coaches who are suggesting keepers who can't catch. You've just got incompetence across all aspects of the football club, man. Okay, and now we're stuck with Xhaka. I thought so too, man. I don't think it'll be the end of end for Arteta. I hope it goes right. I hope somehow Xhaka stays and we do this thing. But boy, hey. Bro, you know Arteta, bro. That we've learned our lessons from Olympiacos is staying there, man. So yeah, and Willian looks like he's staying. So Willian staying, Xhaka staying. I hope these are just mind games, boy. Now let's be fair. Xhaka had a good Euros because Xhaka played well, but tired, man. People assured me he's gonna have hella offers from everywhere, man. But now we're gonna see what Xhaka's on, in it. Like Xhaka has to, as I was saying, Xhaka has to force through that move to Roma if he wants it. You know, it seems like Roma have done their bit. Jose Mourinho's commenting on his post. I do think there's a lot of things to go. Allegedly, Arsenal are now open to a loan without an obligation for Bellerin. So again, you're gonna have Bellerin returning to the club next year, puzzling things. Fucking hell, man! It started off good, didn't it? Oh man, let's just see what happens in it. 281 likes, people. 500 odd of you locked in. Can we push that to the 300 barrier, people? As I said, please make sure you're following on Twitch. Q&A business at 4 p.m. exclusive to Twitch, so it's not going to be on YouTube. It might get uploaded after, but it's not going to be there. Quite deflated, really, man. But I can't lie, people. It's a slow news day, and there actually isn't anything else to speak about, man. So let's get some questions in before we keep it moving, man. Mad deflated, man. All right, big up you. We're already here. Why you giving us the link? All right, that's humid me, man. Big up you, man. You've made me smile, man. I don't know why. I just feel so deflated now because of some of these things. I just feel so deflated. To be fair, that's harsh. You know, I see what Holden is saying. It's not necessarily wrong. I just think you should be looking at Chelsea, you know. If I don't like a next YouTuber, like me and him hate each other, like how Arsenal and Chelsea should from a footballing point of view, but he's doing good things. He's won stuff, he's done stuff. I'd say I'd want to be like him because you learn from your enemies as much as your friends. I wish you were like Chelsea. Them man, they got spirit because they almost went out of the Champions League on a couple of occasions and they done their thing. They show consistency to get over the line and get top four. Yeah, you know, Leicester bottled it again, but they did it. What did we do? And that's true, Brian. And probably is. It's probably just bad news, man. It's probably. Do you know what it is? There's only so much Madison and Our and all them rumors that can get ran. So they're probably just running these ones because they know Arsenal fans are going to drive up engagement. Willian leaving now. Willian not leaving probably meant Willian's name is probably trending now. Not that I can guarantee, but I'm sure. You know, Xhaka staying. That's going to rile up the net. You know. We're going to sell people shirts. You know, Talk Sport are probably going to speak about us as well. Talk shite, as I call them. So yeah, man, it's probably just an engagement thing for all of them. Pardon me. It is what it is. And it just further for me, there's just further lack of clarity around the team. Fans are also to blame. We're all taught, to be honest. I don't know how you can blame fans because we can't control transfers. I don't agree with that. I think the only thing I can blame fans for is the fans claim they want to be ruthless, but then they start loving mediocre players, man. I think that's harsh. Xhaka has been vital at hella times, to be fair with you. He had a good run when we won the FA Cup. He has turned up for us in big games. He did have a good season. The problem is Xhaka has not been the player that we thought we was getting. You know, I think that's a bit harsh. Trust, as soon as the tickets were sold, man. Video is clearer on Twitch, so head over to Twitch, innit? And for me, it's not even just so much Xhaka. It's just I just see the club playing it safe. Like if Xhaka is going to be what he should always be, a squad player, and you're going to give Lokonga time or you're going to throw someone into it, I understand it. But I just think the club are just going to buckle it and just say, you know what, a next season of Partey and Xhaka, let's see what happens, man. How do you deal with the anti-Arsenal agenda from the media? There's no way you can, bro. It's not. Just don't take it in. Like, just stop letting them get to you. You know, everyone knows every popular thing on Twitter and things. You know, you mention Arsenal, you get at Arsenal, whether we win, lose or draw. It's engagement level. So until fans learn to stop reacting to these things, we're not gonna get anywhere. Or just disregard their opinions. We're not gonna get anything, man. Like, yeah, Xhaka's never been dead, man. Can't lie, I love DG's channel. Car can be with like-minded Arsenal fans. Only thing enjoyable about Arsenal at the moment. Other channel guys be trying to convince us why this is good. There's no need to cap, you know. Everyone, you know, Xhaka could stay and be amazing, but I don't think that's going to be the case. As crazy as it sounds, do you think Nketiah could be a threat or motivated to Aubameyang rediscovering his form? I see what you're getting at. Pressure for places. Apart from that, I'd say yes to the way you've put it, but I'd say no. Appreciate you, Cam. Shout out all the South African people locked in. I appreciate that. Bro, Xhaka's a good leader. Xhaka is a leader, you know. I like Xhaka's mentality, but I'm very cautious of keeping people just for being mentality monsters. Everyone should have mentality. Everyone should be good for the young players. Everyone should have a voice in the dressing room. Now I know there's leaders, there's a bit more guys that are a bit more alpha, but it just don't you lot clock the themes for several players. We hear Bellerin's a leader on and off the field, and I'm not doubting that, but everyone should be a leader. Look at the Invincibles. I know not everyone can be the Invincibles, and you don't for this example, you don't necessarily just have to look at Vieira, Perez, Henry, and the rest of it. But you couldn't pick a captain out from the bench warmers to the starting 11 because of how people handled themselves. You know, I'm tired of hearing they're good in the dressing room, they're good off the field, they're good for young players. Every fucking player should be at this club. We're Arsenal Football Club. What is this? Seriously, what is this now? Is the guy a good footballer or not? I don't care if people's nans were Arsenal fans. Man, have been Arsenal fans. You know, they've done things for charity. Big up for them for doing things for charity. But it just seems like a number of things other than, are you a good footballer? Are you a good footballer for us? Are you good enough for us? It's that simple. Anything you do past that is your business. There needs to be a degree of ruthlessness, and there's not. Again, I don't want to get too excited or too animated, more so than I am, because there's all mind games. There's a lot to be said until August. It seems like Xhaka had his mind made up on leaving, so hopefully he forces that move. But other than that, boy, who knows, man? Who knows? To be fair, fans swore at him. He swore back, man. You need some water. It's a good thing I got some. Never know when your baby mother's locked in, man. We know the hoes be thirsty and that. If Xhaka and Bellerin stays, worst transfer window. To be fair with you, if they're mediocre players and squad players, I don't mind. They can stay and you can work it out. But if these guys are ingrained in your starting lineup, it's gonna be more of the same, man. I don't know who said we're not cheering on our team. Big up you lot. Where's the spammers? All right, moderators, patting up the spammers, man. Hey, shout out to you, man. You got your English students locked in. Shout out to you lot. Aye, students, come on. Appreciate you lot. Big up Andy. Moderators, please get rid of the spammers. We ain't got time for it, man. My only problem is not Xhaka staying. It's just they're gonna buckle. You know, it's the hard decision is to as I said when Xhaka was gone spoken leaving. My problem is not Xhaka leaving. Even if Xhaka leaves, I'll be happy because it means we're getting a midfielder. But I'll be concerned for that very reason. Whatever you have to say about Granit Xhaka, the man has played under three gaffers. The team kind of runs through him. The way he's kind of quote unquote vital to not only Arteta's side but how we've been playing. Whether that's right or wrong. So whether you think that's right or wrong, to let him go in typical Arsenal fashion, you're not going to replace that or actively sought to replace that. that would have scared me. In the same way, him staying scares me, because the brave decision would be to find someone who can do what he had can allegedly bring to the table and not make the same mistakes or be better ability. That's the harder decision. And you know, we talk about bravery and things at our club. It would be quite cowardly and quite safe, much like how our manager used to play when he played for this club on the pitch, to keep Granit. And then, as you know, it's more of the same. And what's been here for what, 3, 4, however many years Granit's been here, time has flown, you know. So it's not even I've got nothing against Xhaka. It's just what we do if he stays and doesn't, and if he stays or not, sort of thing, which scares me. So we'll have to see what happens, man. But I don't know how anyone could be confident on the way we're moving, man, because we're just moving mad. But I don't want to get too frustrated, because at the end of the day, it's not the 1st of September, 31st of August, or whatever. Until then, the fat lady hasn't sung. So yeah, it is what it is. Make sure you're hitting that like button if you have not done such already. Absolute mad thing. What the hell is this? I've messed this up. Let's say sorry, folks. Apologies, I've butchered this. What's all of this? Messed up these timestamps for you lot, and it's just gonna look a madness. Oh, this is it. Let's leave it at that. So yeah, that's my issue. It's like, what we gonna do past that? But let's see, man. Let's see. Some man said milk, no cereal. Someone said burger buns with no burger. Yeah. But hey, shout out to City. What City are doing, man? But I know he didn't have a terrible game. Any terrible as other people. You swore at a man, and he swore back. Like, come on, man. DG's disgust is coming in waves. My G, I feel for us. We fans have been trying to be excited for the new season, but a lot of moves Arsenal do aren't making sense. Xhaka ain't a problem. The ups are. Exactly. I don't want a philanthropist in my midfield. I want a ball. At the end of the day, this is football, not live aid. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here. I love what people do off the field, didn't it? We need that. Football mirrors society, society mirrors football, but man, I have to do it on the football field. It just seems like there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of reason to keep someone other than, are you a good footballer? Like, we don't need you to save the world. I do like that Arsenal do things in the community, but if that's what you want to do, tell them to change your job title. There's Arsenal community coaches. You lot can go into secondary schools, go into communities, and, you know, help people that are trying to leave gang life, help people that are struggling with addiction, help the elderly, you know, help people that need it in the society. You lot can go and do that. But man, need ballers. Like, it's crazy, man. Oh man, I think it's to push them. I think it's to push them. I can't see Xhaka staying. He must have his heart set on Roma and Mourinho. To be fair, he had his heart set on her for Berlin before Arteta chatted to him. You know, it just seems a bit volatile. Leno's on busting out. Now Leno wants to stay. Xhaka's gonna leave. Now Xhaka wants to stay. Bellerin seems to be the only one doubling down on trying to get this move, but for a variety of reasons, the Bellerin one, apologies, might not be able to bang and might not be able to happen. So, boy. At least, you know what? At least it's an eventful summer, man. At least it's an eventful summer. Hopefully, the Athletic are talking nonsense and them things there. But you know, big up Rashford. Rashford does a lot. Big up Rashford for using his priority. But you know, you wouldn't still be at Man United if they didn't think you was a good player. You know, they will tell you to move and become part of Labour or something. Like, you get it. Would rather an injured DG than Xhaka and Bellerin. To be fair, I rate me, please. Man, why man want me injured? What kind of bad mind stuff is that? Hit the like button, please. That's our madness. I'm playing though, man. And that's the thing. Nobody wants them. They're on big wages and them things there. There's not a little reason to for you to be enticed by them signing for your club or signing them better yet, man. I'm not backing him swearing at fans. I'm backing that nobody has the divine right to abuse other people. And you saw with Xhaka and the way he spoke, he's someone that's been abused unnecessarily forever. And it was at a boiling point. You swore at a man and he swore back. Just because you're a fan or you've paid money doesn't mean you get the divine right to speak to someone a certain sort of way. It's like some of you on my YouTube channel. You think because you're subscribed, you can chat to man a certain sort of way. It doesn't work like that. You know, it was Xhaka right for swearing at the fans? No. Were the fans right? No. We was both wrong. Both people need to hold their hands up. You know, you don't have any right. So it's not backing Xhaka. I just don't back nonsense. I don't think the fans or the club held themselves with any glory. And for me, well, I'm quite pissed off at everyone because being at the ground and seeing that, I said it then and I'll say it now. It felt like a pantomime. It genuinely felt like comedy. Like if I was not an Arsenal fan, sat in that stadium at that time, I would have been laughing my head off because it felt like WWE. It felt like a pantomime. It was just nonsense. It was entertainment. You know, it fully summed up what Arsenal have been at the Emirates. It was a dark day in my club's history. It was one I didn't like, you know. But what do I honestly think Xhaka was right or wrong? No, I think the fans can express themselves, but you're getting at a man and you're being personal. And he's someone that takes a lot of abuse. There's boiling points, you know, and he's a prideful man. I don't back the fans for that. I don't back the man. It's an Arsenal thing. I think people need to stop moving like, oh man, it's not nice, man. Hopefully we never see them incidences again. So yeah, you don't just swear at a man. He shouldn't. You're not listening. I said he shouldn't have done it. No one should have done that. Like I said, no one should have carried on with anything. So abuse is abuse, bro. Man are human. You know, it's like working in retail. Just because you're buying a pair of crepes from me, if I work in JD, don't mean you can talk to me like I'm a mug. You know, it don't work like that. It just shouldn't have happened, man. Oh man, take the hit. Let these players go. Move on. Facts, man. Because Arsenal are not serious. Xhaka was whoring himself out for Roma, and he's gonna come slot right back in. We move. Bro, Xhaka's got mentality. Like I like that. I just don't, like you said, it's just not levels for Arsenal in the role he is. He should be the El Nene doing up all them little squad role things. You know, there's got to be a reason everyone's playing him that's been the manager here, but there's got to be a reason ultimately none of you have quite had success per se. I know he's been part of a number of FA Cup wins and stuff. Fans act mad entitled, bro. Mad entitled, bro. And I don't like entitlement in life. Like no one's entitled to anything. No one like just don't abuse no one, innit? Everyone just keep it sane. I know in football, it gets a certain sort of way, but yeah, man. Absolutely crazy, man. Big up you lot though, because you lot make this for what it is, man. You know, it could be better, it could be worse. You know, at least I get to experience the highs and lows with a fantastic community, man. There's no light at the end. Well, at least I can't see it, but these lot need to. Just got home after the graveyard shift. Big up you, DD. Much love, DG. Keep up the good work. But Arsenal, the ones that are going to put me in the early grave. Don't say that. Touch wood. Come on, man. Wishing you long-term health and things like that. By God's grace, no one listening to this meets their maker before their time. Come on, man. Oh, I'm not saying that, but that killed me, man. Hopefully, Sammy. You know, I can only go on face value, man. I don't think he advocated fans. You know, man swore at him, so he swore back. Didn't advocate. Fans antagonized themselves, man. He did take his time, but I would do the same thing. You lot try violate, man. You know, and I think let's be real. I think most fans that was abusing him was abusing Xhaka, but then you've obviously got the neeks who go on the internet, start following his, you know, his girlfriend slash wife and her family, you know, malice about his little kids. Bro, man, there's a breaking point, man. But Xhaka has sworn at us twice. The second time unprovoked at the Euros. No one should be treated in a disrespectful way, but the second time was on him. When did Xhaka swear at Arsenal fans in the Euros? Someone update me if I'm wrong on that. But to my knowledge, I've never heard that. So where did he swear at fans in the Euros? Forgive me if I'm wrong, but if you ain't got no allegations, you got to be easy. As long as Leno and Xhaka are the core of the team, it's going to take a long time to get to where we want. I mean, I'm not convinced with Leno, but I think if all the areas we want to be addressed are addressed, you can get away with Leno up until a point as your goalie. In an ideal world, you probably could with Xhaka too, but I think as long as you've got Xhaka, Bellerin, these sort of guys as part of your main squad, bro, you're going to see the shortcomings. And not even just them, many other players, the ones that I actually like that are only at it, they're not at. There's very few players that are on this thing for 38 games, you know? You can't be at it for 38 games, but at least, with Tini, he's getting 35. You might get the occasional spread out bad games. Saka and Smith Rowe are turning up for a respectable amount of games. But it's them games where Saka's having an off day. Tini's injured. Smith Rowe's a bit fatigued. We look left, we look right, we look up, we look down. No one else is with this. You got El Nene purposely standing next to his opponents to not receive the ball. Bellerin not wanting to go out wide. Front three just couldn't be asked. Keeper questionable distribution of a ball. This is why we're at where we're at, and it's just going to keep happening until a miracle happens, quite frankly. And unless a miracle happens, bro, we're going to be sat in the same spot saying the same old things week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. So buckle up, man. Do you think the penny has dropped for Bellerin and partly Xhaka with lack of interest they've had? Not really, no, because we've been here, man. Xhaka, I mean, Bellerin's had more concrete interest in the past from when he was actually still convincing people he's a good right back from the big boys in Spain. Xhaka had an offer to go to Hertha Berlin, so it's almost water off a duck's back sort of thing, really and truly, if I'm honest with you. Abuse is abuse, and both Xhaka and the fans are at fault because you paid to come to a game doesn't give you the right to verbal abuse a player. Xhaka was also wrong by responding exactly. If the fans expressed it in a different way, the booing, you can put up with that. But that's enough of that, man. It's gone now, innit? Yeah, bro, he was frustrating the hell out of me for taking the piss. He was as well. And the only thing do you know what? Do you know who I'm at? Do you know I'm angry at Xhaka for different reasons personally. Because for me, you and your fans crap again away from I think I speak for every sane person when I say apart from the mad abuse and the carrying on. I was annoyed at Xhaka because I always say, how I say the three C's, focusing on confidence. Everybody can play when the sun's shining, when the fans are cheering you on, when everything's going your way. I need confidence, not just when you've tried a pass and it ain't worked or you made a mistake. When the world when the world turns on you, which happens at a club. You're meant to have a siege mentality. You lot are your boys. The fans, let's be honest, fans love is subjective. There's many players within that team, players that have been and gone who we love and hate according to their performance. Fans love is subjective. You're meant to love. They're your brothers that you're training week in. You're with them more hours probably in a week than you're with your wife and kids and stuff. They're your brothers. They're your family, regardless of skin color or nationality. You're all fighting. You're all taking the comments, what the press is saying. No heart, no fight, no desire. Coming at you as a footballer, which as an athlete that should hurt, but they're coming at you as men, questioning your character. Forget football, questioning your character. You're all part of that. You're all part in that dressing room. You're all fighting. As much as I sit here and I say they're not learning from mistakes, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. Let's be honest. Clearly, they are probably doing stuff in training, but it's not right and it's not happening. You're part of it. You're seeing it. So at that moment in time, when he was doing what he was doing, we were still chasing a game. I felt you were letting your teammates down. You're putting your emotions and your, pardon my language, your bullshit ahead of the collective. Leave, like they say in boxing, leave your emotion at the door. The collective was come off the field quickly. Let's do what we're doing. Now you've made it about yourself. So that's how I feel. But it happened a long time ago. I don't really want to talk about Granit Xhaka and the whole fans business now. We've spoken about it. It's gone now, innit? Like, it's happened. EG, who is your favorite player for the women's team trying to bring some light to this stream? I'm not going to sit here and cap, man. I don't have one. I really don't have one. I don't sit here and watch Arsenal's women's team, and I should put more of a work in. You lot appreciate my honesty. I have to be honest with you. If it had to be someone, is it Medina? The one who was, I was watching highlights here and there last year. The one, the striker who was moving mad, I'd say her. It used to be Danielle Carter, but she bust out time ago, innit? Would you take Trippier at Arsenal by default? But myth, man. Bro, our documentary is going to be absolutely amazing. Listen, Arsenal can rise again. As much as I think there's a lot that needs to be done and all these sort of things, we can rise again. But it's the people that make the decisions go, oh, want to rise up. The thing is, there's a lot to be done, but there's one, two little things, and Arsenal could be back doing serious business. And what I mean by serious is just us fans. We'll be able to confidently say, yeah, we're in top 4 shouts. Yeah, 10 games we'll see this. But until then, and I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't think it can ever happen with this owner unless we have this mad Leicester season. It's a myth. Personally, OC, forgive me for mispronunciations. Hey, Delu Laguna, you're the best Arsenal channel out there. I'm not too sure on that, but I appreciate your kind praise. You said, I feel Arsenal need Trippier more than Man U. I don't know why they're not looking at him from a Chelsea fans. Well, we probably need a right back more than Man United. They've got Wan-Bissaka. You know, I'd be prepared to put up with Wan-Bissaka, whatever they say and whatever they criticize of him, then Bellerin. You know, Wan-Bissaka, it just looks like for me, I'd say more so than him in the final third. He's a good defender, but he goes sleeping sometimes. I'd say if he improves that, Wan-Bissaka can be 30. Bellerin, I don't think he has any outstanding defensive qualities, and I want to see them, but I can't. He's not good 1v1. He's not good marking. He doesn't cover well for his centre halves. He doesn't smell danger. He can't, the modern day, you have to be a good attacker as a fullback. He's not really that. So what is when I say Hector Bellerin, this isn't me trying to attack him. What is he about? What are you as a, like, because when I look past it, the Barca, the Spaniard, Haaland, all of this, the vapors and the purple boots and the spiky hair and the long hair now, and I break it down and try and see, what are you? I don't really know what you are. If your name was Joe Bloggs and whatnot, I don't think you'd be at Arsenal. Genuinely. Because I don't think you're good. You might have been good, but you stagnated. I don't know, my guy, man. It's down to these youngsters to just keep working hard, man. Yeah, man. Madonna. Forgive me for mispronunciations, but certified, man. Xhaka did have a decent season, but then we finished 8th in it. So you could say if Xhaka's one of your best performers and you finish 8th, credit to him, but that tells you where your club is. Toilet. Bellerin's not even speed again. I'd rather Henderson than Xhaka. I can't lie to you. Not cap. Will, we spoke about that, thank the Lord, and we spent a good period of this live stream actually speaking on that now, to be fair with you. I didn't expect that to be where we was going, but pardon me, we reached that destination nonetheless, man. It's going to be, I'm under no illusion we're in transitional period, but like, we're not transitioning. I don't see the transition in. It's just, like I said, I'm not expecting Rome to be built in a day, but I always use the building site example. When I walk past this building site, which would metaphorically be Arsenal getting back, I need to see materials being delivered. I need to see plumbing being put down and all of these sort of things. Right now it's looking like cowboy builders. You're taking half of the money. You're telling me you need to buy materials and that. You're showing me a good job. You're like the front porch is looking wavy. It's looking great. Then suddenly I'm saying, what, are you coming on this Wednesday? Yeah, 9 a.m. It's all 9 a.m. You block my number, you're gone. The job is half complete, it's gone. And then I'm getting the next builder, and he's also on a cowboy builders thing, but it's not the front porch. He goes into my garden and says, yo, I'm going to make your garden great, astroturf, this and that. He does half the job and bust out. I bring in the next one. I say, forget that. Go and do my toilet. Man are putting in the shower and not putting in the plumbing work. So again, this is half finished jobs. Like you see in our midfield, like you see with us defensively, like you see with us off the field people, in that we do this Michelin tap thing, then the Raul thing, then someone else, and they're gone after a short period of time. And then you look at it, they're never really backed properly. It's all of them sort of things. So I'd say that. So, if transitional period is great, but show man that you're transitioning. Simple as that. It's like if I'm a drug addict, you're not expecting me to be spot on, but you're expecting me to show you a couple of days I've been clean. Obviously, one love to everyone going through that. Hopefully, get out of that, man. Appreciate that. They are warriors. And I think in hindsight, yeah, they just shouldn't have bought. I think, it was the thingy. the propaganda that didn't hurt Xhaka, sorry, you know, calling man Swiss Perlo and all of this. If you're Juru, who also played for us, if I think if Xhaka just come in at face value, then I'm not saying people wouldn't have their opinions, but there was such high opinions of him and such high ratings. And I think we signed him when the Euros was there. I think he had a good game against Paul Pogba. Everyone was saying, yo, it's levels time now. It's a madness. We've been in transition for 16 years too long. Mismanagement from the owner to the board. Don't see us getting any better anytime soon. Clive, hope we're wrong, man. Hope we're wrong. Really do. Home improvements, Cowboy Builders with Dominic Littlewood on Channel 5 featuring Arsenal FC. Shout out Kimberly. Would you get Pjanic on board? If we could, but he seems to go back to Juventus. Pepe won't score 10. I hope he does, Scott. I'm happy with Lukonga. I hope Pepe, I don't know for 30 plus goals. That's a big ask, but hopefully he just has one, man. I'm feeling a Pepe masterclass next season, or at least a much improved Pepe. Do you agree? I hope so, bro. But for me, I was expecting to see that in the FA Cups. This season we won the FA Cup, and I don't know what happened between winning that and pre-season, because it seemed like we were back to square one with Pepe, to the point where we actually thought Pepe would be someone that could be sold or moved on under Arteta. I know he was bought for 70-odd million. So I hope so. I hope the pennies dropped. I hope he's ready, because you know he played very well in our last game of the season. Had a very good end to the season. So I hope so. But with our manager, I can't lie, you can never really read him, man. I just hope that we can't carry passengers, and you know the Sakas, the Pepes, you know, all of these guys. I don't want to see people carry people this season. We can't carry no one. I want Aubameyang to start scoring. I believe he will, but if he's not dropped, we can't carry anyone. You know, anyone that's not doing his job need to get people moved on. Big up the Twitch gang. Come on, bro. I'm confident in Pepe. I don't know, man. It's down to Pepe. I'm very wary of all these claims and things, but I think he's one of our most important players now, if I'm honest with you. So he needs to play, man. You know, the one place I'm kind of cool is our wingers. You got Pepe and Saka. Let's do something, man. I hope he starts, you know. Pepe / Saka on the left. The only thing that will complicate things is Lacazette through the middle, Aubameyang still off this left-hand side, or even Smith Rowe off that left-hand side. And then you get the point, man. Man said, deluded, your metaphors are brilliant. Trevor, I appreciate that. Oh, man. Arteta won't play Pepe too many games. Well, do you know what? If he gives me a reason to say, all right, that's cool. Because listen, I think Pepe should be playing. I think a lot of things. But if the manager is showing me reason not to, then what can you say? As long as I see that, it's a madness. DG Xhaka said no excuses this time. No excuses for what? Top 4? Europe? Boy. I am wary of Pepe, you know, because Pepe, for me, the most encouraging thing is it's not flashes of brilliance only by Pepe. Let's be real. There was times he was a bit meaty, but there'll be a 10-minute stage. He's unplayable. Now he's scoring, he's defending, he's scoring goals. And that's arguably not the thing you're most impressive by. The work rate is there. It's still not perfect defensively, but there's a real work rate there. And it seems like the pennies kind of dropped. So I hope Pepe has a good season next year, man. Would you say this is Pepe's last chance to improve the club and the fans? I don't know what he's got to do with improving the club or the fans alone, but for him, I wouldn't say it's his last chance because he's still under contract, but we've got to be looking at either extending his contract or moving him on. So I would like to see real prolonged progress through the whole season. Apparently, Ray Parlour too knows for a fact that 2 more key signings are coming. So chin, fellow Gooners. I mean, if he's talking about excluding Ben White, then let's hope, innit? Let's hope. But we're not in the know. We don't know nothing. We can only go on face value. You know, we ain't got no one in the phone books and stuff like that to tell us something. So we can only go off what we're seeing and what we're told and what's face value. Just like on a Sunday, you know, fans shouldn't have to draw fancy scribbles and show Arteta's doing inverted fullbacks, he's doing this. You should be able to show clearly to an idiot, pardon my language, what our system is. You know, football's a simple game. You know, if you can't explain it to an idiot, if you can't explain it to a casual fan, it's a myth. You know, you lot can tell me you're working hard all week, but if I go on Sunday and you're looking poor, You might have been working hard in training, but I'm not seeing you lot at training. I'm seeing what you lot are saying and what you lot are doing. This is why when Arteta is telling me we've learned our lessons from Olympiacos last year, then we're playing Olympiacos last season, and we actually haven't. And the same themes as the same knockout. We played the same way in every knockout game. The difference is we bucked Uno Emery and the luck ran out. I have to say we didn't. Pepe has impressed me, but it's down to him. We just need, like I said, prolong this now. Let's just get a right back to get Europa. I'd rather Ramsdale. At least he tries to offer something different to error-prone Lennon. Nah, I can't lie to you. I think Leno's a better keeper. And at least Leno can go down as a ball-playing keeper. Poor man's ball-playing keeper, but it is what it is. I don't really know what Ramsdale is. But Ramsdale's younger and all them things there, so you never know, man. We're at 364 likes, people. If you have not hit that like button, do so, folks. Let's get a couple more questions in. I have great confidence in Pepe this season. He's going to ball, hopefully. I mean, it's good that the women's team's making bigger moves, man. I'm seeing United, Chelsea, and Arsenal try and make more steps. We've still got a long way to go. I mean, you know, even the sponsors, you know, not to make it more of a thing, but I saw the other day, and I don't even know her name because, again, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm watching female football all the time. But didn't Man United, obviously their shirt dropped with Adidas and they got one of the Man United female players wrong, women players wrong, better yet. If that's a man, they're not getting it wrong. They're not calling Pogba Paul Simpson and them things there. So there's still a long way to go. But the more money that flows into the game, the more interest, the better it is for the ladies' game. It is what it is. And forgive me if I'm wrong. Are the ladies not playing at the Emirates before Arsenal actually play Chelsea at the Emirates? I could be wrong on that. I don't actually know. But yeah, it is what it is. Can't lie, folks, though. I can't lie. I'm just quite hungry, so it's lunchtime. I appreciate the love from New Orleans. Appreciate your energy as well. I haven't seen our third kit, man. So, yeah, it is an issue, man. Sorry, before I go, honestly, if any of you are crying about getting sworn at, please go and grow a pair. I don't think anyone's crying, but everyone has the right to a reaction. But on that note, though, please make sure you're there at 4 p.m, people. Obviously, it's Q&A day. If you want to ask more questions and whatnot, all you have to do is be on Twitch and I'll see you lot, people. But so, yeah, their games is before ours. But I'm going to have to love and leave you, man. I'm getting quite hungry. So, yeah, I want to have my lunch. And it's been a fantastic Friday and things. I'll catch you lot at 4 p.m. Most importantly, stay safe, people. I hope you've all had a good week. I hope I've provided some quality for this hour and 40 minutes. Seems like we've had a smooth one in terms of, you know, the net and whatnot, you know. Again, actually made sure wireless is turned off, wired only is on. So it is what it is. It's been a pleasure to be here with you lot. And like I said, I'll catch you lot at 4 p.m. But for now, I'm out, people. Stay blessed, stay safe. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube and Spotify and all of these things. DG podcast dropped today as well. So, yeah, I'm out, man. You know, if Arsenal really want to make some cut price additions, it's time that they sign good players. I don't know. I came across this guy on the internet. Here we need a fullback, man. I heard he's got ability to be on the left or the right hand side. Yeah, big up everyone locked in. I'll catch you lot in the gym. Brazilian.